Welcome back. Oh God, hold on.
We've started.
Hold on, I'm not prepared for this. These cars are much more difficult to get into.
You know how hard it was for me to get in Hank the other night? Imagine me trying to get in there.
Yeah, I know. Hold on, I gotta get my wheel now. Let's begin.
Big race tech guy.
Big race tech guy.
Big race tech guy.
So last time you guys saw this, we had the race tech seat in the car, but not in the car. We were just kind of checking to see if it would fit. Luckily, it did fit.
That was a big concern of mine, at least. I don't know if I voiced it, because this thing is, the Black Sheep's fast. This is a whole, I mean, this might be 1 or 2 levels up from the Black
this thing
Sheep.
could, it has the capability going really fast. It's a very light car. It's substantially lighter than this, and it makes probably almost twice the power. So that's a,
by definition, a true muffin cap peeler.
yes, muffin cap peeler for sure. You got the lockup trans, and whenever I turn the lockup on, John's gonna be like, he's gonna wake up in a different state.
This has muffin cap peeling protection.
Yes.
Also,
So your muffin cap doesn't get fully peeled.
Yeah. So we're going to talk a little bit about the race tech seat, and I just want to say something. I'd like to say I'm a pretty good advocate for safety. One, for personal reasons. I am terrified of fire. I'm terrified of having a neck injury. I don't want to get in a wreck. I don't want to get into a wreck, but the nature of the sport, what we do, if you do it long enough, it's going to happen. So you got to look at things like, I look at them as like self-preservation. I think it's ridiculous when someone goes out there and is like, oh, why are you wearing that stuff? I always wear my safety gear. I always wear my fire gear. I always wear my harnesses. I always wear my Hans device. And this right here, I'd say, is probably a long time coming for us. And a lot of people out there, you're building these cars. They're expensive. You spend a lot of money on the motor, you spend a lot of money on the transmission, you spend a lot of money on turbos. When it gets down to it, you're like, oh, I can just get this $150 seat. It's a race seat. Until, I can honestly say this because it happened to me. I thought the Kirky seat out there was the best, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with the Kirky seat. It is a very good race seat. I think it has its place in motorsports, just the standard Kirky seat. Until you sit in a seat like this, like a race tech seat, you don't understand the difference.
You feel safer instantly.
You feel safer. It's way more comfortable. You then understand. You sit in this thing and you understand that, hey, if I get in a wreck, this is going to really make a difference. There's going to be a huge difference if I get in a wreck in this and if I get in a wreck in a Kirky seat. And then, honestly, I can try to tell you and explain to you, but none of you guys will understand until you sit in both and you say, I get it now. So I try to think of things as from like some sort of a business sense. I have to look out for my best interest. All these parts and all the safety things that we put on the cars is an investment in my life, in my well-being, and it's stupid to overlook the seat because you're sitting in that thing and you want it to be safe. So when you get down to it, you get to the end of your build, you got to put a seat in there. You say, man, I can buy this seat for $150, or I could buy this $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 seat. Just think about it like this. You get into a terrible wreck and you get messed up permanently for life over what? $1,400?
Yeah,
$2,000? What, like at that point in time, I bet you
didn't care about spending on the billet intake or the billet rods or billet crank or your floater rear end. So
just for me, I'm extremely excited and happy that we're able to get this seat in this car. I feel a whole lot better about just driving it because I knew this thing's going to be, it's an intimidating car. It's a big motor, absolutely massive turbo. Like Matt said, lock-up transmission. This is the top level of drag racing. I mean, 200 plus mile an hour. Like,
yeah, for a door car, I mean, it's just, this is it.
For a small tire drag race car, this is the top, you know. So very excited to have this race tech seat in here, and I'm just trying to use my platform for good. And if I could say, hey guys, maybe save up a little bit, save up, don't take your car out this month, wait a month, save some money, get you the seat that could potentially save your life and do it. Maybe that's what some people need to hear. If not, you heard it here first, and you know, it's your life, you got to do what you feel is right, but until you sit in one of these, it's a huge difference. So.
Yeah, there's really no disadvantage. Like, this seat compared to a Kirky, they're very comfortable. Like, you sit in a Kirky for a while and it's not comfortable. This one, like, you get trapped in the lanes for a while, like, you know, somebody has oil down, you're already suited up, you're just sitting there. Like, this thing is comfortable to sit in. Like, I would turn this into an office chair.
You might fall asleep
all day.
100%.
You'd be like her.
Yeah, she just chilling.
She thinks she's in a Race Tech seat right now.
Yeah.
All right, so enough. This is not a sponsored ad by Race Tech. I'm just telling you guys at home, for those of you guys that are building cars, for those of you guys that are out there drag racing, think about it long and hard and understand, like, you know, at the end of the day, you get into a wreck, you might be in a different circumstance depending on what you're sitting in.
Yeah.
I'm done. Matt, take it away.
Today we've been working on the car a little bit. We've had an eventful evening. I guess that's going to be on the LS Nasty channel.
Yeah, LS Nasty channel for sure.
Yeah, check it out. We had to do some hot shot hauling. Came in, mounted the seat. A little bit tricky how the seat's mounted in this car. Just like any new car, like, we retrofitted it. We didn't build the chassis for this seat. I came down off the X brace on this side, same way on the other side.
The seat comes with a bracket.
The seat comes with a bracket. This car, underneath of it, it didn't really fit real well with the bracket, so that's why I came off of the X brace. Some people, when they mount seats, like this seat originally was mounted with two little posts, and I think we've gone over it before. Don't mount it like that, because if you get in a wreck, like, you got to think, if you wreck at any kind of speed, like I've wrecked it like maybe 120, but if you wreck at any kind of speed, how violent, you just can't comprehend. So that little thing right there, and you're sitting on it, you know, you get smacked hard, the car comes up, lands on the wall, like, that could pierce through the seat and you're sitting on it. So you don't want to get into that. So you always want to do a very large mounted bracket, you know, preferably a whole entire plate on the back. Mount it on the side, make sure it's good, use good size tabs. Don't, like, you know, I always use 1/4 inch. I don't try to save weight on the seat mounting tabs, like, oh, I could probably use 3/16 or whatever, because, like, you're just strapped in the seat. Like, you got 275 pounds of
190 pounds.
You got a lot of weight thrown around in there, so make sure that it's beefy. Your back brace, if you come back here to the rear, you always want to support the seat in the rear. This one's bolted in. The Race Tech seat has mounting points here on both sides. We didn't use those. I went a little bit lower just because the way the chassis was really designed. But it's got a 7-inch wide flat bar, and that bolts to it. You want it nice and wide. You don't want to bolt a small diameter, because the same thing, like, you get pushed real hard into the back of the seat, and then, you know, it could pierce through the seat. So you always want to make sure that you're not going to be doing that. What else we got? We got the drive shaft enclosure in it. We have the shifter mounted, of course.
M&M. Shifter mount. Oh, you might need to go to the other side just to really see this thing here. That is what you call a shifter.
M&M.
This is the same shifter that we run in the Black Sheep 2-speed. Is this? I guess it's like a reverse manual valve body style, but it's a 400, so it's like 2-speed 400. That's all you need to know. Any 2-speed 400 will be set up like this. First, second, neutral, reverse, park. I like the Mickey shifters. They're a little bit weird getting used to if you're not familiar with one, but after driving a car with one for a while, it's pretty nice. So you guys can call M&M Transmissions to get one like this. I highly recommend them. They are pricey, though, I'm not going to lie. Especially this one with anodizing and laser etching. This is a high dollar shifter. So we'll show you how it works real quick. You got the trigger, which works the like locking mechanism, and then the thumb, which also works it, but as you can see, it only works in conjunction with the trigger. So you pull it back and that goes in reverse and it's locked in there. You want to go to park, you got to move that. So you go to neutral, you got to pull trigger in and then the thumb down, and then that gets you back there. It comes with the air solenoid in there, so we run it right through the Holley, and this thing, you know, you go down track, you let go of the button, bangs into second gear, and then after there, it's pretty simple. You just put it in neutral. So really, the main driving, I will say, for anyone out there drag racing, especially using an air shifter, the only thing you're doing is the first to second in the burnout, and then on the big end of the track, you're going from second to neutral. That's all you need to do. As you can see, that part is extremely simple here because it's just like a very, very easy motion. So I highly recommend it.
Yeah, good lever. Some of the ones, like you get the shifters like this, is very easy to operate with gloves on, especially you get into some, SFI. What are your gloves? 30s?
I think they're like SFI 20, same as
yeah. So I mean, they're
thick.
They're big gloves.
Mark, if you're watching this video or someone sends this to you, we do want a strong hand version of this.
Yeah,
Matt had a tragic accident. Tell him about your hand.
Yeah. So I was at the I live in Greenville, and the Greenville has the Greenville Zoo. So I was there one day, and I dropped my cell phone inside the alligator enclosure, and I channeled my inner Steve Irwin, and I went in there and I saw him, and I was like, "Oh, crikey, a gator!" And I had to wrestle it, and it won.
Mm-hmm.
Got my owner nerve, and
the comparison really just shows them.
Yeah. I mean, that's like people.
So Mark,
yeah,
we would like a strong hand
version.
Strong hand. What would you do with a strong hand version?
A little bit taller, because like the dexterity of my thumb like is pretty good, but down sometimes it's a little bit hard. So getting that little bit right there, especially with gloves on.
So Mark, can you make one with the?
No. Just remove it, and then I'll just do everything right here, and I'll be really careful. I promise not to put that thing in reverse going down the track.
Oh my god.
So yeah, no, it's good. It's got the neutral safety switch built in. It's got everything, and it's a very compact shifter. And the also, can we pull that out? Quick release. The mounting, so they come with these. This, if you can see here, it has a ton of different options where you can bolt this thing to. So you can move it all around. You can get it mounted exactly where you need to mount it. Goes in there. Luckily, it worked out pretty good. The drive shaft enclosure previously had a shifter mount on it, so we were able to utilize that. So I mean, we're getting close. We're knocking some stuff out. We're gonna mount. Punchless stuff. We've been putting. I don't know. Were the RIF sensors on it when we went?
No, I think that's new.
Yeah,
we've done a video on the RIF sensors.
No, I haven't. Do you want to?
Yeah, go.
Okay.
Yeah, hit
so we're gonna be using these RIF sensors. This is Motion Raceworks. It used to be TBM, Motion Bot TBM, so now it's everything's Motion. And these are some pretty bad sensors. Nice. They're vibration isolated. You can replace them, so don't think like, hey, you buy this and like you're stuck with it. The top unbolts, and then you can replace individual sensors. They have them in -3. They have them in 1/8" MPT. The reason I like these is they're compact. They're vibration isolated. They can do snubbers for like high pressure stuff. They're alcohol safe. They offer everything from like 100 psi all the way up to 1600 psi for you nitrous guys. They offer like 1 bar to 10 bar map sensor, a whole bunch of other stuff. And they also have some temperature sensors as well. And the temperature sensors, this is what's cool about these, is they have these M5 connections right here. So you can do an M5 cable and then go down to your temperature sensor that's mounted wherever. So this one is going to be for our transmission. So we're going to mount it. They sell a bracket that's pretty awesome for a Turbo 400. Unfortunately, with the way our chassis is and our dump valve setup, it would not clear, so I'm going to make our own bracket. But we're going to mount it right in here, in this area right here, and then do a bung on the bottom, have our temperature sensor go in there, and then the M5 cable goes right in here. And then you have a Deutsch DT connector, so you can get your pressure sensors, your temperature sensors, and everything off of this one connector. So we'll do this. It'll have one connector here, and then the transmission will also have its own connector for the trans brake and the dump valve and the lockup and everything. So when we're at the track and we have to pull the transmission out or service or anything, it's going to be one connector, unplug it, and be good to go. So we got this mounted on the transmission, and then we come over here. We have this one mounted right here. So this one is going to be, we have 3 sensors. All 3 of them are 200. We're going to do fuel pressure. So we're going to have our fuel pressure regulator mounted in this area right here. Going to come down, wrap around, come out here. So out of here, we're going to come down. We're going to go Brown and Miller, of course, and they're going to do some -4 lines, or these are -3, so we'll be doing -3 lines off fuel pressure regulator to this. And then at the same time, we'll have our CO2 will be mounted here like this. So our CO2 line will be coming in. It'll have a T that comes off here, so we'll be monitoring our CO2 pressure here. That way, we're going to set it up to where... Have we talked about any of the ECU and the wiring stuff?
Early on, not yet.
Yeah, so we're going to be using some different stuff. You guys will see it, but it's going to be... John likes all the buttons, and he likes to feel like he's in a fighter jet, but pretty much how it's going to be set up is when the thing's running, like, as soon as you arm the CO2, like... everything is going to be ready to rock and roll. You're not going to have to go like, I got to flip this on, I got to turn this off, and I got to do this. Like, he flips the valve, CO2's armed, like we're going to be checking CO2 pressure at the chute, make sure all that's good, CO2 pressure up here. You know, if it's got CO2 pressure and everything's good, it'll be armed. The display in the button, it'll have indicators to show, like it'll be green. So it's going to be very user friendly, and you know, if there's a lot of stuff going on, it's going to be straightforward. So we got that mounted here. We're also going to be running the dome pressure will come down and mount to this. So that'll be this one. Same thing. It's got a little temperature input. Like the 3 and the 4 ones have a temperature. The 3s have a temperature input. The 4s don't because it uses all of the pins. We'll be coming off the compressor housing, going here, getting Brown and Miller. We'll probably do some hardline stuff. And then also on the firewall, we'll go around that way. We have this one mounted here on the rear of the firewall. This one's going to be 200, 7 bar, and then 1 bar. I can't really see it. So it'll come right under here, and it'll go to the intake manifold for the map sensor. The other one will come forward to the oil filter housing. That'll be for our oil pressure. And then the other one is a 1 bar sensor, which will go to the valve cover. This one's going to have vented valve cover, so it's not going to really be measuring vacuum. It's not like a nitrous car. You don't tune off of crankcase pressure, but it'll still be data that will be useful. It's going to be something that, like, if we got some serious issues and it's showing like, hey, normally, you know, this is our what our crankcase pressure is, and now we're way above it, then we might not catch it, but that'll at least help us see a problem in the future. So definitely just, you know, some people say that you can have too much data. I don't really believe so. I mean, it's always good to be able to look at the motor and tell what's going on. So we got that, kind of went over everything. We got the clear view filter, we got the system 1 fuel filter, map canister for exhaust back pressure, so that way it dampens the vibration of the engine. And we're going to do some stuff with the fuel pump, take it over to Brown & Miller. That was the plan this week, is go to Brown & Miller. They're backed up, couldn't get in, so we decided to start working. Right now I'm about to pull the oil pan off of it, and we're going to weld a 1/8 inch bung for our temperature sensor. We're going to weld a -6-12 bung for our oil heater, and then I'm also going to mount the oil scavenge pump. Got a bracket right here, and the oil scavenge pump is going to go in right in this area like that. So it'll have a line that comes off, goes into here. This is how whenever I wanted to do it, I had Parker Speed cut a flange that I designed in Fusion 360 that the turbo mounts to, but it's also the drain, because if you guys realize, like, this thing's pretty low. By the time if you did it flat and then mounted it, and I mean, your fitting would be that far down below the turbo, and then you're way below your scavenge pump. So this one keeps really up as high as possible, so that way we eliminate any kind of scavenging issues or anything, because everything's pretty low slung in this chassis. Definitely is going to have a very low center of gravity. So that's pretty much it. We're going to be doing some, I'll pull it off, and probably the next video we'll be doing some welding on it, and you can check that out. And just adding stuff. I mean, we got a whole lot of stuff. You guys probably seen this and wondering. Got some sensors on the blow-off valve. A lot of people probably have never seen that before. This is a blow-off valve position sensor, so it's measuring where the valve is at in this travel, 0 to 5 volt. So we'll be logging that, and some of the stuff will be utilizing that. Won't be able to spray when the blow-off valve's open, so if there's some issue that the blow-off valve's open, we're not going to be spraying methanol, because you don't want any kind of methanol in the engine bay. And if the blow-off valve's open, you're spraying, you know, we're going to have potentially 3 700-pound injectors. It's a whole lot of fluid in the intake, and we don't want to have any issues or potential fire hazards. So we're going to be measuring that. Turbo shaft speed sensor, so we'll be targeting a certain turbo shaft speed. A lot of good data. We'll have a wastegate position sensor. So this cap swaps out with this cap. Position sensor goes in here. It's like a forward EGR valve. That way we can tell, like, is the wastegate staying open? Is it staying shut? What's it doing on the two-step? Again, can't have too much data, and we'll be able to do some tuning with that, and we'll kind of go over that and show you guys. I think we got some pretty cool ideas that are going to be different. So I guess right now we're going to drop the pan. Does this thing have oil in it?
No, the bung the bung's out on the bottom of the pan.
Oh, it probably doesn't have oil in it then. So do that. It's coming along. I mean,
we're on the home stretch.
We are, and I know a lot of you guys are probably like, damn, why can't you guys get these cars out? You got to remember, like,
4 weeks.
We've been storm work, you know, and this isn't just, you know, if this was the only car in the stable, like, it'd have been done months ago. But
storm work,
you know,
racing.
You got storm work, we got the Black Sheep, we got the Colorado,
16 cars.
You know, working on Hank, you know, this. There's just so much stuff. So we try to work as much as we can, but really it's, you know, it's difficult. But I feel like we do a good job balancing it out. It gives you guys a lot of different stuff. It's not like, hey, we're just doing the same thing every day.
I mean, we work every single day.
Oh yeah, no, so no weekends, no time off. You know, every day is just a day. Every day is not just flying RC airplanes.
Some days it's driving monster trucks or you know, touring cars.
What
or
I would give to go for
Horizon Hobby. Listen here.
Ooh, here's a big one.
If you're watching this, we have probably crashed $20,000 in foam airplanes this year. Last year. This year.
0.
Well,
Yeah,
this
we're getting
year's
better.
been cars.
We're getting better. We should have had a simulator. If they made one, they did.
It's time for you guys at Horizon Hobby to get off your ass and get up with us, because I have gone through my whole training stage, and let me tell you what, I can fly a damn airplane. I can fly it at 20 mile an hour, 120 mile an hour, don't matter. I can fly it upside down, right side up, don't matter. I'm good at this shit, and you guys need to just send me one of everything you got. I'll do some reviews on them, but they'll be pretty real. Like, if it's a piece of shit, I don't like it, I'm going to tell them, hey, don't buy this one, buy the other one. Because y'all make some shitty stuff, but you also make some really good stuff. So, you know.
V900?
V900, bestseller by far. I bought this, like, the Habu SS, middle of the road.
It's a good trainer.
Turbo Timber, great. Can't beat it. A little high on the price, though. So, but someone at Horizon Hobby, send me an email. If you're not liking this marketing strategy, then you know what? Free wing. Hit us up. Just like that.
Hey.
I'll throw you the wolves. Just like FMS with her.
Arma, hit us up.
Yeah.
Traxxas, anybody.
But no, it's Slick Rick's getting close. I hope you guys are excited. We're excited. I think it's going to be absolutely awesome. So I'm excited to get out there and just test this and shake it down, take it to the hub dyno. Kind of. It's been a while. I didn't realize we've been racing this thing for 2 years. So this thing's come a long way in 2 years, but I think it's also going to be sweet to kind of, you guys get to learn with us. You guys are going to see us fired up for the first time. Take it to the dyno, you know, shake it down, do the first burnout in it, shake it down, like that stuff right there. It's going to be cool. It's going to be cool.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Get some new wheels on it.
Yeah, we're going to some wheel. Comment down below what you guys want to see wheels wise. Definitely want to do a 17-inch spindle mount up front. And then you guys, it's a 15 by 14 double B-lock in the rear. So what brand and what style, RC components and welds and sanders are really the three.
Does Sanders make a front runner?
They make a 15-inch. I don't know if they make a 17-inch. But I'm okay at this point with mix matching. You know,
yeah.
Like we can have a
I like RC comp.
RC comp front, and we could have a Sanders rear. So just comment down below and give your recommendation. And that is going to wrap up today's video. Hope you guys are excited about Slick Rick.
What you think about it, Ava?
Give the people something.
I got a trick for you. Breathe if it's going to go 360s.